Hi, my name is Fred, co-founder of Vertical Gardens, and today we're here just to give a quick run through on how the garden works and what factors or what units bring it together to work in harmony. Behind me, we have a nursery where we propagate all our seedlings for the garden. Here, the nursery behaves and acts as a hub where we are able to produce the necessary seedlings we need at different growing stages to ensure succession growing is ensured at the garden. So here in our nursery, as you can see, we have various seed trays. Inside these seed trays, we grow our seedlings using a grow medium composed of cocoa peat, compost made by red earthworms, and a mixture of pumice. The seedlings on average take 2 to 3 weeks to fully germinate, and once they are ready after germination, we transplant them into the gardens. Because we are running a hydroponic garden, all the nutrients are fed through the irrigation system. This means that these nutrients have to be mixed with the irrigation water and fed throughout the system. To ensure that the plants get their adequate nutrition, we've provided the garden with assorted nutrients. Here, for example, we have Hydro A, which provides the plants with a rich boost of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, boosting their leafy growth. We also have other nutrients that will supply the plants with adequate nutrients for fruiting, such as potassium, phosphorus, and also calcium that will boost their root and their stem growth. To ensure that the garden and the plants are supplied with adequate nutrition and nutrient-rich water, we have provided this 5-in-1 pH, TDS, EC, salinity and temperature monitoring system, or PEN, that enables the gardeners to test the water on the go. It's very simple. All they need to do is take off the cap, dip it into some water, and record the readings. Once we have the readings on a daily basis, we're able to calculate, do we need to add more nutrition or more nutrients into the irrigation tank, or are the plants okay? To ensure that the right amount of nutrients is applied into the garden irrigation tank, we have provided a digital scale that allows the gardeners to weigh the right amount of nutrients that are to be applied in that week. They follow a strict weekly schedule that tells them on when to put what nutrients to supply the plants. In all our vertical gardens, we don't use soil. And the reason why is we prefer for water circulation to happen easily. So what do we replace soil with? We instead use pumice, which is volcanic rock. Volcanic rock is especially great because one, it's inert. It doesn't play any direct role in the growth of the plants. Two, it doesn't have any weeds. And three, because of its rocky texture and rocky nature, it only absorbs whatever water is beneficial to it and then recycles or releases the nest. This enables us to recycle and capture all unused water for the next irrigation cycle. Here on the stepped crate garden, we've chosen to grow our larger leafy greens. We have some really nice broccoli there, some zucchini, and here we have a Belgian favorite, the Belgian endives. This will spend around 3 to 4 months in this system, receiving the adequate nutrition, and then will be transferred later on for a second growth cycle. So most of the plants here are either harvested all at once, for example, broccoli, or some we use the cut and come again method, such as garlic chives. We also have radishes that grow very well in this system, but radishes you only just harvest once. But the benefit is you get to use the bulb and also the leaves to make a delicious soup. On our towers, we choose to grow your smaller fruits, such as strawberries, as we can see here. And we also grow your faster growing leafy vegetables, your lettuces, some types of kale. Sometimes we'll also do additional herbs such as basil, celery, parsley, and these do really great in the system. The tower garden holds 36 plants, so you can imagine the amount of produce you get from the garden when it's fully in effect. Here in the trough garden, we strictly choose to grow our larger fruiting vegetables, such as tomatoes and cucumbers. As you can see, we have some really nice unagi cucumbers that are coming up. These are a favorite of the embassy, and with adequate care, they're able to produce for a long time. The principle is the same. Here in all our gardens, just like in the tower and in the stepped crate garden, we also use volcanic rock in the troughs to enable for adequate recirculation of water and nutrients. The irrigation of the garden has been tailored to run automatically through a dedicated timer. Currently, we've set up the timer to run twice in a day, at 6 a.m. for 1 minute and at 3 p.m. for 1 minute. The irrigation times will constantly vary throughout the year as the seasons change. For example, in hotter months, we might up the irrigation to 3 times a day, but in colder or wetter months, we might reduce the irrigation to once or even completely turn off the irrigation completely. During colder months, we replace or rather add on a greenhouse polythene to the greenhouse to maintain the heat levels within. This is to prevent various diseases such as mildew or fungal infections from occurring in the plants. The addition of the greenhouse polythene also extends the lifespan of the plants, enabling us to produce healthy vegetables during cold and wet seasons. Like any garden, pests are inevitable, but we focus here clearly on prevention over reaction. One of our best prevention methods is this yellow sticky traps and the blue sticky traps. These are especially important to attract pests such as aphids, whiteflies, thrips, to come to the sticky traps first instead of the plants. This helps us deal with pests on a proactive basis rather than on a reactive basis. In the eventuality that we do have a pest outbreak, we strictly employ the use of organic methods to deal with the pests. We will sometimes use neem oil, which is it's derived from the neem tree. It's a very good organic pesticide. And we will also use diatomaceous earth, which is really great at combating slugs and crawling insects from eating the vegetables in the garden. Here we have our 1,000-liter tank that supplies the entire garden with fresh irrigation, nutrient-rich irrigation water. Inside the tank is a submersible pump that is connected and controlled by the timer. Here is where we are going to put, or where we always put, our hydroponic nutrients that are pre-dissolved and mixed with the rest of the water. The excess water that is collected by the gutters in the garden come back again to this holding tank for the next irrigation cycle. We put nutrients inside the tank once a week. Connected to the tank here is a supply of water from a lagoon that's right here above. The lagoon collects and recycles black and gray water that sometimes we can use for the garden. You can use it, but the perception is a bit tricky. So where we have fresh water, we stick to fresh water. Rainwater is the absolute best for better results from the garden.